Well, people, I hope you're keeping well. I hope you've had a lovely new year. Just doing a little bit of an adjustment there. I still look a little bit washed out, but hey. So let's see. We now are live. So how has your New Year's been? I hope you, well, for those who it is New Year for, of course there are some in this world who don't operate on the same calendar. For you, I hope you enjoy it when it finally comes round. I mean, it's been an interesting week for me. Rediscovered 7 o'clock in the morning is not my favourite time, especially after having a couple of weeks off. And going back to the gym after taking a month off is quite an uncomfortable time. But even so, you've got to do it. It's the easiest habit to break, but you just got to get back in and get on with it. And talking about getting on with it, let's have a look at the game. So it is a slightly uncomfortable subject that we're about to go into. So just to be aware of that, there's just one scene, and then once we're past that, it should be absolutely fine. So the theme of this stream is playing with light, and it's something that I've really struggled with in all computer games that feature lights, or give you the option of controlling lights. And it's simply because I just don't... I always try and make it natural. And quite often I'll only use it if it makes sense to add it. If there is a light source or a window or something where it will look quite natural to have a little bit of extra light just to bring some details in. But the problem with that, I'm just going to move a little bit closer. Here we are. Now the problem with that is it means that I very, very rarely use it. So scenes like this, I'm not happy with the light on him. I mean, I'm not going to take a picture or anything like that, but I'm just going to demonstrate this, what I'm planning on doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into photo mode. And as you can see, he looks, well, it looks like a man who's just been stabbed, to be quite honest. I mean, he's doing all right for himself. So whenever I work with light, I like to work with the in monochrome, in black and white. So unfortunately this game doesn't have contrast, so that makes it a little bit difficult to truly work with it. But as you can see, it's quite strong contrast in his clothes. His skin is quite dark. The area itself, so all of the scenery is quite flat, but then there's what you would expect with cloud cover. I mean, at the end of the day, it's snowing, so we know there are clouds. But generally, you find clouds work really well with portraits, but not on a man who almost died. So we'll forgive him how he looks right now. And to be quite honest, I probably looked worse 7 o'clock in the morning when I woke up at that time for the first time in ages. Honestly, I was not a pretty sight. I was not ready for that, and thank God we have coffee in this world, because I don't think I would have made it otherwise. So I'm just going to have a little play around. And as you can see, as I'm moving the camera around, can I zoom that thing in? No, I can only zoom me in. Can I? Let's reduce the distance. There we are. So we've got a very strange angle on it. And then I can rotate it up. So we've got a bit more colour on him. I mean light on him, sorry. Good old Joel. So let's move that back a little bit, because we don't want ridiculously strong light on him, simply because it's quite a stark area. So I'm increasing the softness just to match the environment more than anything else. Spread-wise, I'm quite happy with it. I'm going to increase the intensity. He still looks like a zombie, but even so. It is a slight improvement, and we'll look at the colour just if I can remember where that is, and see how we're doing. He don't look right, does our Joel? But that's the sort of thing you can do with light. So that's one of the things I'm going to be playing with. Hopefully. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a person or anything like this. I mean, we can probably get back a little bit and just look at the light in here, because I think it's quite an interesting scene. If I could get him to the rotation to work a bit better. No, I cannot. Okay. Because I think it's quite an attractive building, or at least could be. So I'm just trying to stop that speed limit sign being such a feature in here. So again, I'm going to hide the character. I'm going to reduce the saturation. Again, I cannot do much with the overall contrast. I'm just going to accept that that's something I will need to do post-editing. The light source, that's on rotation, so I need to bring that round. I need to bring the distance in so I can see it. Oh, of course, it rotates around Joel. Just a little bit of light. And what I'm trying to do is just have some form of contrast in here. So let's have a hide. So that's the brightest thing. That's what you'll notice most out of this. And then tone it down a little bit. I don't think that particularly makes an interesting thing, but again, it does demonstrate the sort of things you can do with light. But yes, I'm aiming to be quite creative with light. So I'm going to abandon all attempts of making it natural. We'll need to kill these guys first before playing with things like that. So that's good.
Look, the kid is deadly. We don't know where she's gonna turn up next. Just keep your eyes and ears open.
So I'm not doing great on ammunition. I just need to move a cable down because it's blocking my view. So this guy, if he doesn't see me, I'm going to stealth kill him if I can. I'm not going to shiv him, because quite frankly, although I've got 3, I just feel with humans, unless they're heavily armoured, it's just not worth it. Let's have a look at this guy first. If we can get the camera to behave. We cannot. Okay, so let's abandon that idea. Let's stack the bodies up.
Take it easy. Everything's cool, man.
No, it's not cool. Not for you. You guys have my little girl. And even though she's not blood, certainly becoming like that for me. You don't get to finish that sentence, sir. Okay, we've killed some people, so now it's time to move. I don't want to move too far away, simply because there's plenty... Well, there's one more arrow there.
He's gone. Keep searching.
I need to search there as well, just in case there's anything of interest. Let's have a listen. There's no one in my vicinity. Framing wise, that's a good picture. Ooh. As long as we can get past the windows without this guy seeing me. That wasn't a thing. This is a good spot, but I believe everyone's dead, Dave. Oh no.
Oh, fuck me.
So there is one other person, I believe. I would have liked a silhouette shot, actually, with that fire and that sign. That's the last of the arrows, I believe. Hopefully, some of these people will return an arrow for me. But either way, there was a fairly good series of stealth kills there.
There you are.
Oh. Well, there goes stealth. Oops. I keep forgetting the controls. And I can't keep saying to you guys, oh yeah, I only play this once a week, because quite frankly, that excuse grows old. Even if it is the truth. Nope, do not want to swap. If I remember rightly, I've got an axe on my back. Ooh. I genuinely don't need it. Okay. Fair enough. We'll have some of that. I believe this area's been picked clean. I didn't see anything when I came up, but let's have a look in the garage itself. Okay. So I was just having a little look at the surrounding. I rather like the be careful. Now I'm in black and white, you can see that it's quite good contrasts here. It's quite... And you can tell when there's a good contrast because everything looks sharp. Well, you can reduce that. And bring it back up. I swear I heard something then. Odd. Oh, wind. Really should fix that door. I wasn't a complete lounge around on my time off. I did do some DIY. I just completely forgot about that one not quite catching. That's all. But either way, when you're playing a scary game, you don't want the wind making your door sound like it's about to open. That's a little bit scary. But anyway, less of that. This will not make a good picture. That's a shame. Because I wanted a bit of a play, but I don't know, I just don't like having all this snow on him. That's a little bit too far round. Go a bit sideways. Well, I really struggle with this. So there's one light. So good half the face illuminated. And drop that down just a tad. Like that. You can play around with light too. Probably bring the distance right. I cannot bring the distance in. Maybe if I turned it on, that would be useful. Okay, so that's fairly good. I would definitely want that a very soft light. Quite a wide... No, let's have a narrow spread on it. Drop the intensity. Actually, I've had a better idea. Softness. I'm going to keep the softness as that at 100. Quite happy with the short distance. I'm going to go back to this one. And this is the one I'm going to drop all the intensity. Because it just makes more sense with all of the... Well, you've got an open door there with loads of light flooding in. And yes, I did say I'm going to ignore all trying to keep it natural and stuff like that. But I'm a creature of habit. What can I say? Let's narrow that spread a little bit. Going to increase the distance. Reduce the softness a little bit. Increase the intensity again. That just looks weird. Really does. So we definitely don't want it round there. We want it... So we've got some... I wonder if having it lowered would be better. No. Lower can create some very, very strange shadows. So I'm just going to bring it round to the forehead. Still quite happy with that. Softness, I am going to increase it a little bit. Yeah, that works. I'm not brave enough to play with colours. But I am quite happy playing with the different light sources. This is definitely a strange one. Let's drop the intensity. Let's drop the distance. No, increase. No, cannot increase the distance. Increase the softness. And as you can see on the wall in the top left, actually, I'll demonstrate that. Just a straight out, very harsh light there. And you can tell by the edges, but if you watch the edges of that circle, actually I'll move it so you, oops, I'll move it so you can see it. Actually, well, let's do it as a bit of a frame. That can be something you can do when it's really dark, just to make it a little bit interesting. But anyway, less of that. So, as you can see, you've got a really sharp circle around him. But if you, as I increase the softness, you'll see it feather slightly and it becomes far softer light until it's just almost natural. Drop the intensity quite a lot. I'm just playing with the overall brightness of it all. Let's bring some colour back in. It's quite odd it's so saturated right now. So because I haven't... It's simply because whenever you increase contrast, you increase the saturation of something. Or the saturation increases, I should say. It's not, you know, two settings that go up together. It's just a natural result of stronger contrast. Now remember, he was quite dark because he is very, very ill. Going to reduce the intensity on quite a few of these lights actually. Especially on number 1. Now I've done that, let's go for a bit of a portrait shot. It's not too bad. I mean, it's completely fake. It's not stylized or anything like that. I mean, I could do that for a little bit more. Let's have it about there. Play with a vignette. Probably reduce that a bit. Well, I'll reduce the intensity and the size of it. But it was never a great picture to start with. So these are some of the things you can do with light. Now this is unnatural, but I think that it's, for a first, like proper first attempt, that's not too bad. You can always go the other way and try and make it as soft a light as possible. Let's just reset this tab. And we will reset that. But I don't think there's a great deal I could do with the overall balance of everything. So light 2 I had as that, which probably wasn't the best choice. I should have just moved them around. So if we rotate that around to about there, spread massive. That's still not enough, so oh, not quite sure what happened there. It's definitely keen on lighting our Joel. That's not quite what I was going for. So something like that. Softness nice and strong. Intensity. Don't need a great deal. I'm just trying to balance things out. So again, go to light 2. Drop that intensity massively. And then probably increase everything. God, he does look ill. Poor guy. And that's a slightly softer light, so a flatter light. So now I've demonstrated all these things. Let's turn all these off. Make sure that is all reset as well. Let's carry on with the game. Actually, before I do that, cheers. Now we did kill the 2 people there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's everyone, so I'm still going to approach slowly. I just want to have a look to see if I can get into the motel and if it contains anything. Oh, I've just got the message that my headphones are a little bit, they're going quite flat. I'll zoom right in. He's not my subject. Not until he's a little bit healthier. Ah, I have been rewarded. Probably switch to handgun just in case there are people around. I'm going to swap axes actually. It's always good to have a fresh one. Any health? No. Can I go further this way? No. Okay. Slightly disappointing, certainly, but let's use a shiv. That's worth it. There you go. Especially when you get something like that. Improve duration of smoke screens. Decent. Got some medicine, some scraps. I think that was worth it. I mean, the alarm's going. They know I'm coming. So I'm creeping simply just to be a small target. Actually, as they don't know where I am. And sometimes you can get your arrows back. There's no way I'm getting rid of that alarm. Which leads me to believe I really, really should be more careful. Yup. Oh. So someone's fired, so they must have seen me, but ah. Oh. I'm a little bit annoyed that I wasted a bullet. I mean a arrow. But I've recouped this one. If it would have let me, I can pick up some shotgun ammo. I'm just slightly concerned that someone shot at me and it wasn't this person. And I don't know where they are. There will be sort of down this way, I'd imagine. Yeah, that arrow broke. Just gonna have a little look to see if there's anything interesting up here that can be picked up. By looks of it, no, but the pendants you can get are sometimes quite hidden. You don't know about them until the little triangles icon comes up. That really looked like an ammo box. But it's not, it's a junction box, I think the Americans call it. And I don't know what we call it. Ah.
Where the hell is Ellie's stuff here?
The girl's been doing well. Now this is where you can do some disturbing lighting. So let's zoom. Well, let's not zoom out actually. Let's go back to that. Oh god, he looks like a zombie, doesn't he? Wow. Just need to zoom. Well, I cannot zoom in any more than that, so we will do it the old school field of view way. Because I really want to focus on his horror expression right now. So, light one, powered on. Let's rotate. Oh, let's orbit it. We do need to raise it slightly. Let's carry on orbiting. A little bit more light than that, but I'm going to compensate with another light. But let's see what we can do here. I'm going to keep it just around the collar, actually. That's too far. About there. That I'm happy with. So that's quite a good light. Intensity, I'm just going to keep it at 50. Spread. Yeah, keep it around there. I'm quite happy with that. Softness. Let's keep this at 50 as well and do the other lights before deciding that sort of thing. Oh. Well, that's doing its own thing. So let's rotate that round. Now that's a very intense light. So I'm going to increase its distance, soften it. Ah, that gives me a better idea of its position. I want it just on the eyes, is where I'm aiming for with this. If I can get it to play how I want to, which is the whole purpose of this stream. I mean, as I said at the start, I am not very good at this. I find the controls are really good. His controller, not so much. So I want higher. I want it at the eyes. Yeah, the cone doesn't make sense to me at all. So it's a really small spread, massive thing, and I want it facing there really, but when I come back it just doesn't seem to do what I want it to do. But there's a little bit of glint in his eye then. See, if I could slow this down, and there's possibly something in the overall game settings that would help with this. Okay, so intensity massively reduced. So I just want a little bit in the eye. Is there a... What I'm looking for is to see if there was anything that would allow a precision mode, so just to slow down the analog stick more than anything else. Possibly not. Because I like the single thing, but it was just his eyes were a little bit dead. Let's orbit it. If I can get it to go up a little bit more. Okay, we're going to go right forward. Where the hell is this thing? So it's directly above, so that's the wrong direction. Rotation, up, orbit round. Let's say just a little bit in that eye. About there. Cannot drop the intensity, cannot reduce the spread. I could probably increase the spread, see what happens. No, that's too much. Yes, doing some very strange effects there. So Again, I'm going to keep it as a massive distance. Come on now. That, orbit it round this way. If that doesn't work. Ah, it's very analog, that. Definitely all or nothing. So if I go back to nothing, increase the spread. Luminosity I'm going to drop quite a bit. Didn't realise that would help so much. That really does help. Wow. Okay, I have learned something new. That is good. Because I rather like that. And now we've got the third light to play with. And this one just wants some very soft light on the jacket more than anything else. I'm just going to hide the thing so you can see where I'm at the moment. So it's just bringing a little bit to the background more than anything else. So let's have a little rotation just so you can see its effect. It's about there. Now I'm going to adjust the first one. I'm going to experiment with softness first. Again, luminosity, going to drop that. Just till it feels natural. Let's have a look at the brightness. Because this is that black background thing that you can do. I mean, generally you can crank up the contrast as well to get what you're looking for. But this is the sort of idea I wanted. I wanted a good side light. I mean, if you saw my film Noir, you can see why. But I wanted little glints in the eyes as well, just to put a bit of life into there. And then just have a black background just to give it that bit of punch. Oh, I feel like a plonker for pressing that button. About there, I think. That is the first picture. Here we go. I can see the video that I make from this to be another one where it's probably 2 or 3 pictures simply because it takes me so long.
I gotta find her.
Unless, of course, I get better really quickly. But yes, Joel, you do have to find her. But we also need to look at our stuff.
Holy shit. Ellie.
Okay, we don't have time to look for our stuff, but this is the scene. So, if you're of a sensitive nature, look away now. And I will say when to look back. If you don't know what nature this is of a man who is attracted to Ellie, and it is not reciprocated.
I knew you had heart. You know, it's okay to give up. Ain't no shame in it. I Guess not. Just not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Oh, I was wrong.
Stop! Stop!
Fucking touch me!
Okay, it's me. It's me. It's me. Look, look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
You can look now, by the way.
Ellie! Ellie! Did you hear me?
No. What?
Look. Hospital. This is where we get off. Let's go, kiddo.
So this is a nice soft light that we have
Feel that
here.
breeze, huh? I tell you, on a day like this, I just sit on my porch, pick away at my six string. Yeah, once we're done with this whole thing, I'm gonna teach you how to play guitar. I reckon you'd...
So, it's just a picture I want to take. So I like the evacuation safe zone. Can zoom in a little bit more just to have a bit of grass as the foreground. And look at this, they've even put pollen in this game. To say it's beautiful is an understatement. Really is. So what am I trying to get here? Because initially, loved the mountains. I like the evacuation safe zone as well, but I cannot get a good composition of all those elements. This is as far back as I can go. So let's actually adjust the field of view. I keep forgetting to do that. At least this time I remember to do the film grain, so I am improving. Maybe have a bit of tree there. I was tempted to do a bit of the car, but that's not going to work so much. So it's just, I will have to adjust the contrast a little bit in post editing, but I can probably flatten it slightly by increasing the brightness, reduce the sharpness a little bit. I want more of a dreamy look than anything else. And if I remember rightly, there's a fairly good filter that can help me do that. I'm just going to put a light on him. And I want it quite high. So around about, well, that's a massive arc. About here. Really need to increase the intensity on that because I cannot see if that's hitting him or not. That's really difficult at this height. Well, there's only one way to do this, stick everything on intensity. I'll keep the spread as it is, reduce the softness. At least that'll help me aim a little bit. Now let's zoom in. Let's sort the light out first, when I can actually potentially see where on earth it's looking at. There we are. So we've got that. So if we increase the distance, it should go where I wish it to be. I'm just doing this so when I zoom back, you can actually see him. Something like that. Drop that intensity slightly. Increase the softness. Right. Now let's zoom back. You can see he stands out just a little bit more. So now let's work with the depth of field. Increase the intensity. And you can see when I do that, the grain. So it tells you where the depth of field is. So he is nicely in focus. I just want a slight bokeh on this. Now we'll go back to saturation. And because I've done quite a bit with the lights, I'm not going to bring too much back. I'm just looking at the signs at the top and the evacuation save, because that was fairly faded as well. So that looks fairly close to how it was before I made the adjustments to the lighting on him. I mean, if you look, there is that beam of light coming down on him. I can't avoid that, but the break in the foliage kind of masks that a little bit, so it's not too bad, and it draws the eye. I mean, on the visual patterns wise, he's actually framed, so you've got the sign on the left, the tunnel east sign and the evacuation. You've got the leading line towards him from the barriers as well. You've got some interesting textures in there. So there's quite a lot to lead your eye to it and hopefully distract you from the fact that there's a beam of light on him. But I'm playing with light. That's the whole purpose of this. Oh, actually, it wasn't my light. I'll take that. That's actually how it's meant to be. So that's cool. In that case, we've got that working in our favour as well. I'm going to bring it in a little bit, actually. Change the position a little bit. I'm opening up the frame slightly. I mean, he's not on the rule of thirds, and I wouldn't be able to get him there. I mean, for Instagram, that doesn't concern me so much, simply because I'm going to be cropping it anyway. But because I can't quite do that here, without losing the distance, that is, I'm going to have him more center frame. Oops. Drop that down as much as possible. The bokeh's still working. I'm going to take some advice from photo mode reviews, because I watched one of his videos and it was quite an old video, but it was very good. Just to remove this and put it back on and see if my character actually is in focus. I don't think he is. So I'm going to bring that back just a touch. Pardon me, and he doesn't change, so that's good. Hide the grid, and then capture that image. Now let's play around a bit, or as much as I can, with an orbital mode. And I've come to the conclusion, or a realization, and I may be wrong in this realization, but I think the reason why a lot of photo modes use orbital is because, from what a friend of mine who's a professional photographer told me, the depth of focus only works up to a certain point. When you get past that, you don't get the bokeh effect. So that's possibly why they have that limitation. Or I'm just doing them a massive service by coming up with that excuse for them. But either way, it's allowed me to accept it a little bit more, because I do find it very frustrating. But with any limitation, it causes you to grow, so it's never a bad thing. But either way, one thing I've done here, and I rather like, is I've used the open door of that mobile caravan to, or camper van as we call it, to act as a contrast against Joel's head, so he stands out a little bit more. Bear in mind, he's still got the light on him, so he is the brightest point in this area. I just feel that this composition is far more interesting, with the car and the road sort of leading lines inwards, going towards him. The trees leading off towards the mountains is quite nice. The hospital is more prominent as a sign. Still not on a third, but still, I like it. And the evacuation safeguard, also quite prominent. So I'm going to take that, and then I'm going to use the rule of thirds properly and see if I can do better. I do not believe I can, to be quite honest. So I'm going to again use contrasts. I do need to zoom out. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm setting the grass as the foreground, so that's the bottom third of the image. All of the signs are the top of the image, and in the middle is the mountains, the trees, and Joel. So let's take away that grid. And I've placed in between the sign and the trees, again, just to make them stand out more. So it's a high contrast area. I'm just going to give them a little bit more space, just for the bow. So that's another image.
Really like that. What do you say, huh?
Poor kid's struggling.
Ellie, I'm talking to you.
Huh? Oh. Yeah, sure, that sounds great.
I was just looking to see if they went into an interesting formation. Got to have a look. Here we are. Glad I did. No. Not even going to ask. I suppose got kids. They've got to protect them. Got to make sure they're safe. So, I'm not going to judge them.
I dreamt about flying the other night.
Oh, yeah?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Go on, tell me about it.
So, I'm on this big plane full of people, and everyone is screaming and yelling because the plane's going down. So I walk to the cockpit, open the door, but there's no pilot. I try to use the controls, but I obviously have no clue how to fly a plane. And right before we crash, I wake up.
Well, just they did the light for me, really. So let's drop down a little bit. She's quite bright, so I can use that dark background. Got Joel in the mix as well. Bring that distance right back. Reduce the intensity so I can get Joel in there. I don't need his bag in focus so much, so it's okay there's a little bit out. Okay, actually, do need to make sure more is in focus. So what, as long as I've got his shoulders and Ellie, I'm quite happy with that. It wasn't the lighting I was expecting, to be quite honest. I was hoping it'd be a little bit darker. You know, more like that. Let's get rid of the saturation. So again, you can see it's quite flat. So let's try that approach. This is when you need actual lights and reflectors and things like that to be able to achieve these goals. But I'm still going to bring the colour back and see what happens. I don't dislike that, actually. Could have some colour to her. I'm looking at Joel as well. See what I can get away with. 'Cause I'm basically torn between the warmth of the image, so the sunlight on her, and the on her other cheek. It's a little bit rosy. And I don't want to brighten that too much. Now for her, I've got a bit of a cowboy shot on her. Actually, I could probably... No. I'm not going to muck around too much with it. Oh, sorry, itchy nostril. Now I do want to have more of the scenery in there. I mean, she doesn't have a holster or anything like that, but that's... I think this is what they call the shot where it's just above the knees. No, cowboy is just there. I think this is a half full body or something like that. I'm not a filmographer, as you could probably tell from the videos that I make, but even so, I'm still learning. But I rather like that shot. And being that I can't close up in on Ellie, I think this one works quite well. So she's sort of central. That's more central, actually. Joel's on the third. If I can possibly move it around like that. Use Joel to really reduce the cropping on her. That's actually better. We'll have that.
I've never been on a plane. Isn't that weird?
I've not been on many.
Well, you know, dreams are weird.
In fact, the first plane I was on, I piloted it. I was very fortunate that my family clubbed together and gave me a driving experience. I mean, I didn't do the the takeoff and landing. I did the bit in between. But I really enjoyed it. Because as a kid, growing up, pretty much all the way into young adulthood, where I was when I did that flying, I always wanted to fly like a bird. It just looks like fun. So when I had that opportunity, I was, yeah, absolutely blessed. Yeah, I was more than happy with having one present, because with a present like that,
Another
absolutely
city,
amazing.
another abandoned quarantine zone.
And it wasn't just one of those, do a lap round a field or anything like that. It was a proper experience. I went to Silverstone. Actually, I flew near Silverstone, which is fairly close to where I live, but a fair few miles. And yeah, went round the edge of it, came back to where I live. Well, back to the airfield. The instructor landed, and yeah, end of an amazing experience. Now this is a great picture to take. I just really like, I'm a sucker for Art Deco for a start, which I believe that style to be. And let me see now. Bring that in. Have that on the third. Now again, this is quite a flat light. I don't feel like I need to do anything with it, so I'm just going to. And for anyone who's just joined and wondering why I do this, uh, it's much easier to work with light if you don't have any color in it, because then you can see your highlights, your shadows, and the general contrast levels in between it. So it makes it much easier to fix any issues you've got with your lighting, and then you can start working on the colors. And yes, I will be post-editing this and so on, but no harm giving myself a bit of a head start. And as I mentioned in the title, I'm experimenting with lights. So again, oh, do I need to cast shadows? No, I don't think I want to. Not in this scenario. Well, let's bring the distance in so I can at least find where this thing is. Messed up a little bit there. So let's rotate that round. I'm going to imagine the sun is about there. So that works fairly well. Softness. Reduce the spread slightly to about there. And it was just simply because his face was a little flat. Now let's get rid of this grid as well. Let's bring the colour back. So I rather like that, but let's do him some justice, because he is a tanned man. And I'm just waiting till it feels or looks natural. And for me, that does. So I'm going to hide the menu, have a look. Just the depth of field and only the intensity. And then what I'm looking at is the bus station in the background. So that is a very easy to read sign. So I'm just looking at putting a little bit of bokeh on it. I don't need a great deal simply because it's very clear that Joel is the main subject. I just love his expression there. I like how the light's on him. I will possibly fine-tune the lighting in this, in post-editing using the S-curves, because things like your contrast, your shadows, your highlights, the basic controls are it's like using a hammer and chisel to get the shape of the sculpture that you want, and then you use the S-curve to sort of like your sandpaper more than anything else, where you get it all smooth and the finished result. So as a starting point, I'm really happy with that. I'm slowly getting used to the light controls and how to use them and when. Oh yeah, Ellie needs to climb over.
Maybe we cut through here.
Now what I'm looking for now is beams of light like this. Absolutely love them. So, things you can do, if I can get this to work. And I'm experimenting. I'm based on things that I've learnt from YouTube videos from photographers. So this is either going to work or it won't. Sort of does, but it's not quite right. And it's what's known as the halo effect. You can see it more on as you're looking at it, the right side of his head and the arrow, and on his shoulders as well. And these beams of light really work well as ways of having some leading lines towards him. So, again, I'm going to go to lights. I'm going to drop that down a bit. Well, I suppose it makes sense to have it where that light source is. Something like that. So it's not quite the effect I'm looking for. Or it's not the intensity that I was looking for. I was kind of hoping for a bit of a halo around the head. I mean, the intensity is strong. The spread is pretty standard, 50. Softness, I'm going to drop that to the standard 50 as well. Now, this is me being me, effectively. I didn't want to... I'm trying to do my usual thing of keeping it as natural as possible, but that's not the point of this stream. The point of the stream is to get myself out of these comfort zones, to get interesting effects. I'm going to bring that right in. Let's hide the menu. So you just need to look at the very top of his head. Now I'm going to bring it in, and you can start to see the light on his hair. I just need to drop it down slightly, just to get the flicks at the back of his head. I'm sorry for that little bang there. That's fairly interesting. Quite like that. Let's get off this menu. So it'll allow me the controls that I want. Place him on the third, probably between the eyes actually. And that just allows me to have the banisters on the lower third. This chair is too young to be making these noises. I think the next thing I need to do is oil that. So let's have a look at this picture. So yeah, you've got a little bit of the halo effect on him. You've got the lights around him as well. Not anything that I can do in the game to the walls and so on. But I may reduce the shadows just to darken them and add a bit more contrast to it. But I'll have an experiment, see how we get on with it. But I'm going to take that picture. And then I'm going to do the same, but with more lights in it. No, I'm not, actually. Don't think that particularly works. Maybe if I zoom out quite a bit, place it about there, and then that's all the different thirds. But no, I don't think that works. Let's try this shot here, maybe. And this is the halo effect. It seems to be far stronger here, simply because it's got a dark background behind him. Again, we've got the banisters of the railings of the stairs going down, so I'll get rid of this grid. So they are leading lines
Hello, sir.
towards him.
How are you doing?
Hey,
have you had a good week?
I have
I'm
indeed.
glad you enjoyed your flying experience. Smiling face with smiling eyes.
It was truly amazing. I would strongly recommend it. But yeah, I'm doing well, thank you, sir. Hope you're keeping well also and had a good week. I mean, after 2 weeks off, 7 o'clock in the morning was absolutely brutal. Really was. But thankfully, we have coffee in this world, and that did make a big difference. I mean, I was in the office as well on the first day, so there was a lot of people in there, and that sort of buzz in the office helped to wake me up a little bit. So it wasn't too bad. Going back to the gym after a month, now that was a different experience, and I still ache. But it means that I did it right. That's the main thing. But how are you? How was your week?
Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You just kind of seem extra quiet today.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Poor kid went through a lot. So yeah, she's going to be quiet for a bit. Just looking to see if there's anything interesting. You've got a coffee cup there, which is kind of cool. I'm going with the coffee cup. Look. Well, it'd be easier if I did it with the photo mode. I am being very self-indulgent here. I just really like this sort of style. And also, anyone who has seen Bill and Ted's Excellent... Oh, no. I was going to say about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but I can't actually remember which one it is, but the one where they kept going, station. But this is actually information, so... Point null in void. Okay, so this isn't as amazing as I hoped it would be, but the main thing about photography is experimenting. You know, it's not about fluking or anything like that. It's just you don't know. You can't improve until you do something different. You know, all of the best inventions.
Yes, thank God for coffee. I'm not too bad. The week was okay.
Ah, that's good to hear, man. Really is. Let's go a bit higher if I can. Cannot. That's as high as I can go. By the way, it's the weekend. We have made it through. It is good. I will edit this video hopefully Saturday. I was really stunned I got the last one done by Saturday as well. Everything just worked, so I was really happy with that. I think I really like the isolation of this. Maybe not go through a wall, but fast fully hollow. To really emphasize that, I can't go any more than there. I wonder if I can do the upper third and just drop it slightly. No, that ruins it. So about there. Okay, so next thing I want to do is to use depth of field to isolate her further. About there. Increase the intensity. Alright, let's get this right. And actually a very good technique to use is to blur it and see what stands out the most in an image. And she's the most saturated thing there. You've got a bright light behind her, so you know that's going to attract your attention. So either way, we've got that on her. We've got a good... Let's see if I can move that further, actually. About there, because I want some of the foreground to be blurred as well. As I say, it just gives her that isolation. So now, I just need to make sure it is in exactly the right angle to pick up on that 1,000-mile stare that she's got going at the moment. And I know I could just put a blue filter on to give that cold look, but I just feel that that's quite an important thing. I mean, her body language is all down, her chin's down as well, so these are all defensive positions that adds to the story.
Hello, young man.
Oh my days, how are we doing, Murphy? I hope you're keeping well. Thank you so much for joining. Love the fact you got RoboCop in your name. Awesome movies. And how's your week been?
Indeed.
But I hope you're keeping well. I hope the week's been good to you.
Well, we could use that ladder.
So I'm virtual
I'm
for...
glad Elle escaped. Have God for the weekend because my weekend starts here. I take it pedo cannibal boy is toast.
He's gone. Yeah, most certainly. So, yeah, she did escape and did it herself, but Joel was there to console her. She's still
Here we go.
a little bit
Ellie,
messed up, but she's getting there, mate.
I sub you, mister. Let's play.
Oh.
Rough weekend, actually.
Oh, really? You got good times ahead. But thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it, Murphy. That is good of you. Yeah, I'm a virtual photographer. So I mean, I play games, but you will often see me stopping and taking pictures. And the theme for today's stream is I'm finally facing the settings that I almost always avoid, and that's the
Yours
lights.
at this it.
Oh, thank you. I'll get there, most certainly. I've been doing this for about a year now. Yeah, about a year, virtual photography. And what my idea is to
What is it?
have a stream where like
Allie?
all virtual photographers can get
Allie?
together, share ideas and so on. But it's also quite a nice place to hang out. There's some lovely people on here. So I hope you enjoy. And yeah, I only go quiet when there's cutscenes and so on. I don't tend to shut up that much. So feel free to interrupt
You gotta
me
see
if you've got
this.
something to say.
What is it?
It's not letting me run.
Are you kidding me?
But it's such a beautiful scene.
I could quest quite lie that you are in the art zone.
I am indeed. You've obviously played this a fair bit. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Because I've got an Instagram as well, where I have all my pictures on there. From not just all my streams, but also from my, like, in between gaming sessions.
Sam Hill.
But yeah, it all started from using
He
Instagram.
takes good pictures, you know, smiling face with smiling eyes, thumbs up.
Oh, I thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere, sir.
Do you see this?
But yeah, started off just using Instagram to put on all my photos, using it like cloud storage. But yeah, it's really developed into a quite the hobby. Right, let's just reset all of these and see if I can get that expression. I don't think I can. So what I'm trying... No, it's not going to let me get round enough. I don't think... Oh, I don't know. We may make this... That's a little bit too sassy. Too far away. Let's just enjoy this moment.
Scare it.
I won't.
What are you doing?
It's all right. Come here. Hey, fella. Hurry up. Come on.
Hey there. So fucking cool. Oh, where's it off to? Here, come on, let's go.
Slow down, kiddo.
Come on.
So where are you from, Murphy?
Hurry up, come on.
Oh, sorry, Ellie, but that looks like something to explore. Nope, that's the way I came in. Okay. You should see me in Skyrim. I pick up everything. If it's free, I'll have it. In fact, that's the only reason I go to a gym, is because I get it for free. Otherwise, I would not bother. How's that light working? Not great. Okay.
Oh, man. Wow. Look at those things.
Bless her, she needs this. Get a bit closer. That'll do. Got good balance because they're both on a third. So that works quite well. That's the wistful shot I was looking for, actually. I'm quite happy with that.
Getting close to a giraffe is a wonderful experience.
Oh, I bet. I've never done it myself. Oh. Oh no. Hang on. This is what I want to do. Any life, really. I was very lucky to go to a farm and like hang out with cows and all sorts of stuff like that, and I just absolutely loved the experience. I'm a sucker for animals anyway. Maybe about just trying to reintroduce the colour without overpowering it. So let me see now. I've got brightness on 35, so let's just reset this tab. Oh, I wasn't that far off actually. So yeah, 22. I'm quite happy with that. Joel doesn't look too blown out. It's a nice crop, maybe. No, cannot zoom in too much. I just need a little bit more. Go a little bit more to the side. About there. I want Ellie to be the strongest one in this image. And it's quite difficult because oh fudge, she's also currently the smallest of the two. So that's why if I can get this to play ball. I don't want too much in the foreground, but I don't think I've got an option. So I'm just going to take that. I'm now contemplating how that will work in a cropped image, in portrait. But that's a future me problem. But either way, I'm really happy with that. That's the expression that I was hoping to capture, and I've done it. So that's cool. Right, let's see if we can get this conversation going. I seem to have lost that moment. There we are.
So, is everything you were hoping for?
It's got its ups and downs. But you can't deny the view, though.
Hmm. That'd be right. Hmm. It's kind of cool. So Ellie's expression seems to stay the same. Joel's is quite it fluctuates a lot, but he has a brief moment where he's softened slightly, and he's just finding that pattern. It's about there. In fact, don't even believe I need to mess with that too much. Pardon me. Maybe drop down a touch. Having a really strong crop. Ellie on the third. And that's the thing is, with modern technology, we're not reliant on film, for example, so I can take as many pictures as I want to get the right one. there's no harm in experimenting. But I say I was quite happy with that softness in his eyes. And what I'm doing is just framing Ellie just there slightly. See how that works. Which kind of does. Yeah, we've done all we can with that one. There's time to move on.
Is that Central Park in New York?
I genuinely don't know. I think this is a zoo, actually. If anyone is better at geography than me, Bethany Clarefield. That's looks like a baseball pitch, possibly. Looks like the right sort of shape, and they've got the St Mary's Hospital, which I would imagine is actually quite a popular name. But yeah, I don't think it's New York. It's somewhere in America.
We don't have to do this. You know that, right?
What's the other option?
Go back to Tommy's. Just be done with this whole damn thing.
After all we've been through. Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
Fair.
Sounds like one.
Yeah.
Look, I know you mean well, but there's no halfway with this. Once we're done, we'll go wherever you want. Okay?
Well, I ain't leaving without you. So let's go wrap this up.
So have a look around. Oh, I've got another comic for her. That's
There's
cool. All the times I've played this, I don't think I've ever looked at all those comic books. I certainly haven't collected them all. I know that much. Right, any collectible is appreciated right now. Gosh, we're almost at the end of the game. I mean, we're not going to be finishing it this stream, but yeah, we're getting close. It's almost the end. So we were up there a moment ago, if you're interested. You saying, Ellie?
Well, this place takes me back.
How so?
That was right after everything went down. I ended up in a triage just like this. And everywhere you looked, you just saw families torn apart. The whole damn world seemed to have turned upside down in a blink.
Is that after you lost Sarah?
Yes, it was.
I can't imagine losing someone you love like that. Losing everything that you know.
I don't know how much you
I'm
know
sorry,
this game,
Joel.
Murphy, but Sarah
It's
was
okay,
his
Ellie.
daughter. Yeah, I wouldn't be playing with light if I didn't try and use this
How
shadow
many
somehow.
do you have to collect?
I genuinely don't know. I'd imagine there's a fair few of them. But I've not actually looked into it to find out. So where is that light? It's on his hand, right there.
Hello, sir.
Hey, Ailey, how we doing, my man? I hope you're keeping well. Happy New Year to you. Trying.
I'm fine. Who?
Yeah, well, I was struggling a little bit because I went back to the gym for the first
Happy
time
New
in
Year to you
ages.
too, D.
Thank you, mate. But no, I am much better now. I really am. I mean, I still ache a little bit because I hadn't been to the gym for about a month. But apart from that, yeah, doing really well. Thank you, mate. Really happy with that light. Going to go right into quite a portrait shot, maybe. And just a touch above his
Haven't
head.
been to gym for a long time myself. Don't have time with all the school.
That's fair enough. I mean, I had a very, very good reason not to go. It's just I was ill. And I think that it was a very bad idea. After being ill, it was Christmas. So I have no excuse on that one. I just didn't want to go because it was Christmas. So I finally went back on Tuesday. And oh my days, did I ache on Thursday. Like top of the hamstrings, stuff like that, because it was leg day. And now top of my chest aches, my back aches and stuff, but it just shows me that I did it all right. Muscle memory was working really well. Let's just get rid of this a second. I want to just check the light. No, I think this is the fine-tuning sort of settings of lighting that I'll need to do in post-editing. I can't do anything here. Really liked how his eyes were then. But no, let's bring a bit of colour back. And it's quite interesting that his bow is actually acting as a bit of a frame for this picture. But I tell you what, getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning again after 2 weeks of getting up whenever I was ready to, that was a bit of an issue. I had far more coffee than usual on that occasion. But I did it to myself. I have no one else to blame.
Hey, Joel, I got something for you.
Alright, kid.
Here.
Yee, I already overslept in the 3 days of school.
I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I feel so much better about that. Aw, she's a good one. I needed all 3 alarms.
Well, no matter how hard you try,
Hmm?
I guess you can't escape your past. Thank you.
And yeah, there were a few occasions where I used all 3 alarms before I got out of bed. But it wasn't too bad today. I mean, not an experience I want to repeat. I'm really glad it's the weekend and I get a lie in. But yeah, I think next week should be much, much easier for me. And I finally got back into
3.
doing...
And you wake up. I have 4 and still overslept, D.
Oh my days. Let's just say I've got a bit more practice than you. That's all. But yeah, 3 alarms. One of them though is a really good alarm. So it's got a lamp attached to it, and it gets slightly brighter when it gets closer to the time for the alarm to go off. So it almost tricks your brain into believing it's dawn, and therefore you should be waking up. So it just makes it much easier. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still times where I want to bite the alarm, but it does actually work. So if you can get hold of one of them, I think it's a Lumi, I think they're called. But it certainly was a challenge.
This time it's gonna be different. I just know it.
What do you mean?
They're gonna be there. The fireflies. I'm sure of it.
Because really, for me, I think 10 o'clock is a reasonable time to wake up. But there's not that much parking at my place, so I have to be there for like 8:30, 9 o'clock at the
Waking
latest.
up is harder than any Souls game I've ever played.
Yep. 100%. And that's the cruel thing, is all of us have to wake up early to go to school, but not actually that many people in this world are morning people. So we are just victims of a societal norm, which was obviously instigated. Oh God, that's a bloater. Instigated by a morning person. Can I? Should I? I'm going to.
I am definitely not a early person.
No. I mean, I've got a circadian rhythm, so it's not... Oh, God. It's not as bad as it has been when I was doing shift work, but it's still not an easy experience for me. Well, at least we know what's in the area. That's something. Ooh. Can I get a picture of a bloater? This is either genius or one of the dumbest ideas I've ever had. Okay, well, first of all, bow and arrow not going to work. I don't think they're blind, like clickers. So I'm not going to hide by that truck. I think it would see me. But I do need to be fairly close to it. This will most likely be one of those occasions where I will die as a result of doing this. There we go. Look at that thing. Oh my days. Let's zoom out a little bit. Lighting isn't too bad on here. I'm quite impressed with that. I was going to get rid of Joel actually, but I'm thinking of keeping him for context. So yeah, I don't want to lose the creature's foot, which is why I'm going for this composition. But it can certainly be improved upon. So we'll stick with that angle. Maybe move slightly more across, get it more central. It's just not as cool as I thought it would be. But being that this will most likely result in my death, I'm going to do some lighting on it. So, let's rotate that round. I want that quite a low light, actually. Just to see if we can get some interesting shadows on the thing, which I cannot. Should. No, because of course it's behind Joel. And I did discover before that even if I hid Joel, I still wouldn't be able to get rid of that shadow cast across it. I'm going to stick with 100%, but I'm going to... Let me see now. I was tempted to just use it as a frame, but I don't want to do that. I'm going to soften it a lot. Spread does need to be reduced, because there's just too much on that wall, more than anything else. So I do need to reduce the intensity, but I'm just bringing a bit of detail in. I'm looking at the wall.
Hi, sir.
Ah, Cursed! Hey, how we doing, sir? I hope you're keeping well. Yeah, thank you for waiting as well. So I was experimenting, because I've never actually seen one of these things up close, because generally I set it on fire and then shoot it as much as possible. But I thought I'd take the risk. I'm not overly happy with this composition, but being that I will most likely die as a result of this picture, I'm just going with it. I'm just going to possibly try something a little bit more interesting. Although it looks like it's about to break out into a number rather than be a really bad... Oh, jeez. Being a baddie, but this is...
Keeping great, sir. Have a nice stream.
Oh, I thank you so much. Yeah, and have a great weekend as well. And Happy New Year to you. But I am enjoying it. Always do. There's some lovely people on YouTube. Yourself included. Right, run away.
Run, Ellie!
I would rather deal with this lot first. Damn. Damn. See, I want to... Oh, stealth. I do think that is... The bloater is the one to kill last, because these guys are just too quick. They're too much of a risk. Did I hear one up there? As far as I'm aware, they're blind as bats, this lot. I should be able to just take them out quietly. The bloaters can see, I discovered. There's the one I heard earlier. It's quite odd. I'm both looking for opportunities to kill them stealthily and also photo opportunities of them. Yeah, you stay safe, Ellie. So there's 2 clickers. This thing comes into the light, I'm getting that picture. I don't think it will. I think it's going to, yeah, turn. But I need to get out of the way of that thing. It's turning. We're safe. this is going to be so messy. No, no, I think we're good. That's what I'm waiting for. Zoom in as much as I can. So this is where I'm really going to need to use light into better effects. But I need it in a better pose. No, I was too slow. So watch a little bit. See when it gets to its height, which... Ooh. Let's get some eyes creeping through, maybe. So field of view. Lighting. And again, I need to increase the intensity. Increase the spread. And this is just so I can find out where the hell the damn thing is, more than anything else. Because it rotates round...
What the hell was that?
That is an infected person. So, what I'm trying to do is bring some light into it. Now I need to zoom out, actually, quite a bit, because I just need to find where on earth that light source is. So it's orbiting something, but I don't know what that is. Oh, is it too high? But yeah, it's quite a few stages before it becomes a clicker. But that's an infected person. Where is that damn light? Let's reset that tab. Rotate it round. Or at least find out where the effect is. So that's on Joel. So I should have that on it. Increase the distance. Need to reduce the spread. Rotate it just a tad. Oh my days, that is so difficult. And let's zoom back in. Ah! So I'm just trying to bring a little bit of light onto it. I need a bit more softness so I can increase its intensity without it being like a circle behind it. Damn. It's getting the light source in the right place. I've actually lost it. Ah. It's around here somewhere.
Makes a whinny noise, don't it?
Yeah, it does. It's completely possessed, though. Okay, I need to increase that spread because I've completely lost the thing. So it's in rotation, so it shouldn't... Oh!
What did you do on New Year's Eve?
I spent it with family, actually. So it was a lovely evening. And in the UK, we have a show called Hootenanny. And it's an old... Well, he's not old, but it's a jazz musician who gets together loads of different artists, and some from quite far back in the past, and they play some songs, and they all drink and have a good time. And yeah, it was just a really nice time with family, with good music. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I didn't drink a great deal. Well, I didn't drink anything that day, actually. But I had sort of learnt my lesson from Christmas Day, where I'm pretty convinced I was still a little bit drunk the day after. So I behaved myself a little bit more. Okay, let's fine-tune this a little bit. Let's get that picture. Because I've spent way too long on that thing, but I saw the opportunity and I had to take it. Okay.
Oh yes, Jules Holland.
Yeah, he's legendary.
Holy shit.
Really is. Oh, forgot about that. Heh. Fire. Ba ba ba. I teach you to learn. You die now. Big bad thingy. Run away. Oh, god damn. Let's give that a bit of a recharge. Run, Ellie. He a bad man. I'm not sure if you can totally kill him with fire, but I'm giving it a go. Yes, you can.
Used to be the keyboard player in Squeeze.
Oh, is that who he is? Ah, did not know that. Ah, cheers, man. Every day's a learning day. Definitely need some of that. I just put 2 canisters in there, man. I think that's my empty one. So, did these guys drop anything before I go to the next... Well, before I end this stream? I don't think they did. Last but not least... Bricks. Meh. Right, well. It has been absolutely lovely catching up with you all. I'm going to leave those guys for later. And the next stream will most likely be the last chapter of this game. So kind of an end of an era. But either way, I will get my pictures done and the video made, hopefully over the weekend. So you'll have those to enjoy. And I'll catch you in the next one. Right, take care everyone.
See you later. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you, my friend. And you. Have a wonderful time. Alright, goodbye.
Good night. See you soon.
You will do, my man.